The Frivolous Petitions Bill, which the Senate passed through second reading, has continued to be the talk of the town. The bill contains a clause which criminalizes posting abusive statements on social media. Now, as expected, social media enthusiasts as well as journalists and even labor unions are thoroughly displeased by the bill. A coalition of civil society organizations led a protest to the National Assembly asking for the discontinuation of the passage of what they say is an anti-social media bill. Now, in the wake of the controversy, the Senate has maintained that members of the public would have an opportunity of making inputs into the bill, and that some of the comments on the bill emanated from misunderstanding on the objectives of the bill, which the upper chamber says is meant to protect all Nigerians. From a distance, a group of protesters marching through the streets of Abuja. They move purposely towards the National Assembly. Besides the inscriptions on their placards, the ribbons they wear are vivid indicators of why they are at the National Assembly.
Who determines what is abuse on social media? What is the parameter with which the Senate want to determine who is abusing who on social media? Why the rush to pass the bill against this freedom of speech? There is emergency on education, they have not declared it. Our roads are not built, nobody is passing through. There are no hospitals in our communities and nobody is passing through.
These civil rights activists are firmly opposed to the passage of a bill which they say is intended to gag the social media. The Senate last week, Wednesday, passed through second reading the Frivolous Petitions Bill, which included a clause that criminalizes posting abusive statements on social media. The protesters demand to meet with the leadership of the Senate from where the bill originated from. Moments later, they are allowed to enter the National Assembly. At the last gate leading directly to the National Assembly, two lawmakers from the Senate meet with the protesters. But the activists demand entry into the National Assembly. They are granted this demand.
During the campaign, we all used the social media and the general media and the conventional media. Then it was important to be used. Today, you are in the House, you are in the Senate, you are at the National Assembly. You feel the same platform that brought you should be clamped down.
Senator Shehu Sani speaks on behalf of the Senate.
It is not possible for people like me and many others who share your beliefs for us to be here and append our signature to a bill that will violate the fundamental rights of all Nigerians. We fully assure you, in full consultation, we are going to take your message without editing to the Nigerian Senate, that Nigerians are saying nay to social media bill.
A lawyer tells Channels Television that Nigerians must resist this proposed law by the Senate.
If in reality it is trying to curtail abusive speech, that is already captured under tort law. Okay, so you have laws like libel, slander, defamation under those laws. We don't see any reason for it, and more so, we feel the Senate and indeed the National Assembly as a whole have more pressing issues to look at.
These civil rights activists are not the only ones opposed to the bill. The Nigeria Labour Congress, the Media Rights Agenda, and other civil society groups have condemned the proposed law, describing it as a threat to democracy. Let's go back and take another look at the opinions of some lawmakers in the Senate on regulating the social media. The social media, an arena with open arms where everyone is welcome to interact, keep in touch, socialize, share ideas, or simply vent. No topic is off limits, social, political, and religious, and with just a click, a statement, thought, news, or opinion goes viral and can be accessed by a huge number of people. Many Nigerians access news and information from the social media. However, because the social media is unregulated, it's not clear how accurate some of the news stories in social media are. The Senate on Wednesday passed into second reading a bill seeking 2 years imprisonment with an option of 2 million naira fine for any Nigerian who posts abusive statements on social media. The bill, which was sponsored by the Deputy Majority Leader, Senator Bala Ibn Nala, states that any person who unlawfully uses, publishes, or caused to be published any petition, complaint, not supported by a duly sworn affidavit shall be deemed to have committed an offence and upon conviction shall be liable to an imprisonment for 6 months without an option of fine. It further states that any person through text message, tweets, or through social media posts any abusive statement knowing same to be false with intent to set the public against any person or group of persons, an institution of government, or such other bodies established by law shall be guilty of an offence and upon conviction shall be liable to an imprisonment of 2 years or a fine of 2 million naira or both fine and imprisonment. When the news of the proposed law hit the social media, the reactions poured in. Many Nigerians on several social media platforms criticized the bill. Not to be deterred, federal lawmakers, at the continuation of legislative proceedings on Thursday, insisted that some Nigerians are using the social media to harass public officials.
While I celebrate the social media as one of their major actors, this Senate should not be blackmailed, cowed by operators of the social media. You will read time without numbers, Sahara reporters casting aspersion on the integrity of the Senate. The Senate is a sacred, hallowed chamber.
The privilege in this country or elsewhere where people just wake up one time because of the development and the advancement in ICT to set up social media and start writing all sorts of things without holding them responsible. The freedom of information and the Cybercrime Act that we passed, these two laws need to be looked into with the view to addressing these abuses.
It is the biggest thing that has happened to us. It has helped us in our elections. It has helped us to disseminate information. But the major problem has been the people who do not have any laid down rule as to what to do on the social media. And they call themselves pressmen. I have been a journalist all my life, and the major and important tenet of that profession is that you must be fair to all concerned.
The Senate has referred the matter to its committees on ethics, communication, ICT and cybercrime to investigate and report back in 4 weeks.